In today's video, we're going to cover everything you need to know about opening an LLC in the state of Nebraska. So here are the 7 steps that we're going to talk about today. But if you don't want to do these yourself and you want to hire a company to do it for you, then we'll leave the timestamp here that you can head to where we have a full walkthrough of how to set this up using a company called Northwest Registered Agent. So go ahead and skip to the timestamp there if you want to do that. But if not, let's get right into all the steps you need to know to set up your LLC in the state of Nebraska. Okay, so the first step is naming your LLC, and you need to understand the naming guidelines in the state of Nebraska. In Nebraska, you must use limited liability company or limited company, or you can use abbreviations of these, but make sure that you follow these guidelines in naming your LLC. You cannot use words like association, corporation, incorporated, limited partnership, or the abbreviations LP or LTD. Obviously, this needs to be written in English. You also want to make sure that your name does not conflict with a government agency like the FBI, State Department, or CIA. You also want to make sure that your name is distinguishable from other names within your state. So to do this, you can conduct a name search on the Nebraska state website to make sure that your name is not taken. And lastly, you'll want to make sure that you choose a name with an available URL because it's very likely that you'll want to create a website for your company. Okay, so step number 2 is to file the Nebraska LLC Certificate of Organization. Now to do this, you need to go on the Secretary of State website. If you're going to file online, then it'll be $100, and if you file in person, it'll be $110 at the filming of this video. We'll leave the website here as well as the address if you want to go in person. The next part of step number 2 is that you need to decide on the management structure of your LLC. So there's 2 management structures. There's member managed and manager managed. For most of the people watching this video, you're probably going to want to do member managed. Manager managed is when you hire somebody to run your company, but like we said, for most people watching this video, it's just going to be you. Okay, step number 3 is to create an LLC operating agreement. Now, this isn't required in the state of Nebraska, but it is highly recommended. An operating agreement is a legal document that outlines the ownership and operating procedures of your entity. This ensures that both the owners and the employees know what to expect from the business, and this will just help minimize future conflict. Some of the things that an operating agreement usually entail are the following. Organization, so who the members are, when and where the company was created, and the ownership structure. The next one is management and voting structure, then capital contributions, distributions, membership changes. This is the process of adding or removing members or transferring ownership shares. And lastly is dissolution. This outlines everything that you need to know in the unfortunate case that your company is dissolved. Step number 4 is to obtain an EIN in Nebraska for your LLC. So this is actually also known as a federal tax identification number, and you can really just think of this as a social security number for your business. This allows the IRS to keep track of your business's tax status. And this is actually required by the state to open a business bank account and to hire employees. The EIN number is actually provided to you free of charge once you set up your LLC. And you can apply for this online or by mail. Okay, step number 5 is to hire a registered agent. Now, a registered agent is a person or business responsible for sending and receiving legal documentation on the behalf of your business entity. This can include everything from tax forms to lawsuits, government correspondence, and anything else. Now, this person must be a full-time resident of Nebraska. This could be yourself, an employee, or you can use a commercial registered agent service. So the reason why we don't recommend that you are your own registered agent is because the information that is registered for the registered agent is on the public domain. Once you file your articles of organization, the information for the registered agent will be on that document, which will be then put on the Secretary of State website for Nebraska. That information is available to the public. Anybody can see that information and publish it on their website. So if you care about your privacy, it's really not the best thing to do to be your own registered agent. That's why it's way smarter to use a registered agent service like Northwest. This is really what most businesses do. It's going to help keep your address, phone number, and any other private information off the public domain. Now, these services can really cost anywhere from $99 to $400 per year. But Northwest actually provides this service for free for 1 year when you use their LLC formation package. And then after that, it's only $125 per year, which is actually a really affordable deal. So there are going to be some steps that you need to take after forming your LLC, but let's go through a tutorial right now of how to set up your LLC with Northwest Registered Agent. So we'll leave a link down below to our special pricing. Be sure to click onto that where you can form your LLC for only $39. Okay, so once you've clicked on that link down below, it'll bring you to this page here, and you'll see for $39 you can form your LLC today. So let's click Get Started. So once you've clicked Get Started, it'll bring you to this page here, and we will choose our business type. Go ahead and select LLC. It should already be selected, and then we can choose where we would like to form our LLC. Go ahead and choose Nebraska. Once you've chosen Nebraska, it'll pop up your filing options here. Now, this is a fee that goes directly to the state of Nebraska. Northwest will not get any of this money. You'll have to pay this whether you go through the Nebraska state website or use a company like Northwest. So that $104 is just the standard fee for a 14-day processing, and if you want it any faster, you can pay more money to do that. The next thing you'll see here at the bottom is is the beneficial ownership information form. Now, we won't go into too much detail in this video. We actually created an entire video that is completely about that form. We show you exactly how to file it, and if you don't want to file it, you can use a company like Northwest to do it. So for only $9, we can throw that in here. Just note that if you are a business entity starting January 1st, 2024, you will likely have to file this form. Like we said, go check out the video to make sure that you are one of the people that need to file it. Okay, so we'll leave that check for now. Go ahead and click continue. Now it brings us to the company details. Go ahead and enter the name that you would like your business to be. The next thing that you'll have to decide is if you want to send a copy of your lawsuits and legal notices to your attorney. Right now, let's just go ahead and leave that off. Okay, now you have to enter the purpose of your business. Let's go ahead and enter ours now. Okay, the next step is your physical and mailing address. Now we talked about how Northwest has a free registered agent service for 1 year, so let's go ahead and use their registered agent service. You want to make sure that you click both for the physical and mailing address, our registered agent address. Okay, and once you finish with that, go ahead and click continue. Next, it brings you to company management. Now, for most of the people watching this video, you're going to be a member managed LLC. If, for example, you are out of the United States and you're hiring a manager to manage your LLC, then you can choose manager managed. But for most of the people watching this video, you're going to be a member and managing your LLC. So I'll go ahead and just enter my name here since I'm the only member in my LLC. Okay, you'll want to make sure to select our registered agent address here, which is going to be the address on file with your certification of organization for your LLC. If you want to add an additional member, you can do that here too, but let's just go ahead and click continue. Okay, now it'll ask us for our contact details. Go ahead and enter in this information. And once you're finished with that, go ahead and click continue. Okay, now that you've done that, it brings you to the account setup page. Go ahead and enter your email address here and then click generate password to create an account with Northwest. Go ahead and click continue. Next, it brings us to the business identity page. Now, this is a free 90-day trial with Northwest, so you can really try it at no risk to you. And what is included with this is a domain name registration for 1 year, a website hosted by Northwest but owned by you, a business email address, and a business phone number. So we'll just leave that checked. Like we said, it's free for 90 days, so we can go ahead and leave it on here. Once you're finished with that, go ahead and click continue. Okay, next it brings you to the page where you can choose from some optional items that will be an additional charge to your filing fees. So you can get a tax ID. This is your tax identification number, that EIN number that we talked about earlier. Northwest will actually help you file this if you'd like. You can also elect your LLC as an S Corp for tax purposes. They're going to file that form for you here for $50. They also have a mail forwarding service and a trademark service as well. We can leave these off for now. Let's just go ahead and click continue. Okay, the last section here is just to enter your payment information. I'll go ahead and do that now. So once we've entered our credit card information, let's go ahead and take a look at our order summary before we complete our purchase. So you'll see for $39, we get the basic package here. You'll also get a registered agent for $0 for the first year. And also they don't charge you a filing service fee. So $39 to set up your LLC. Next, you'll pay that $104 to the state of Nebraska to file. That's the lowest amount that they will charge you to set up your LLC. And then we have that business identity included for 90 days for free. And then that BOI report was only $9 to have them file for us. So this is a total of $152, a really great deal. This is why we recommend using a company like Northwest to help set up your LLC. Again, that link is down below in the description. Go ahead and click that and do the process setup for yourself. Okay, now that we've set up our LLC, there's a couple steps that we need to do after forming our LLC. So the first one is maintaining compliance. Now we won't go into too much detail here because it's going to vary on what type of business you have, but just know that you're going to need to follow all federal, state, and local regulations. You'll also need to make sure that you obtain any additional permits and licensing in Nebraska. I know we went through this really briefly. Just go ahead and pause the video if you have any questions or you need to go to this website here. And then obviously, if this is your first time starting a company, we really recommend that you use a professional service to help you out with making sure that you're compliant in every area that you need to be. Okay, the next step in making sure that you're compliant is filing your biennial report. This can be done on the Nebraska Secretary of State website. And you can do it online or by mail, and the fee is going to be $25. Now, this report will be due by March 1st of even years, and it's going to be delinquent after April 15th. Obviously, you want to make sure that you do not miss this and that you file this form, because if you don't, it could result in loss of your LLC. Okay, now that you've filed your LLC, let's talk about some steps you can take after forming your LLC. Okay, so the first thing is to open a business bank account. This is going to keep separate your business assets from your personal assets. And this is going to help keep your personal assets safe from lawsuit. It really is best practice to just keep these two separate. We'll leave some links down below to our favorite business bank accounts. Be sure to check those out. The next is to get a business credit card. Now, this is also going to help you keep your business expenses separate from your personal ones. This is going to help for tax purposes, and it's really going to help build your business credit, which is different than your personal credit. Your business credit is actually based off that EIN number, which is like a social security number for your business. And also, we'll be sure to leave a link down below to all of the resources we have for our favorite credit cards. We even have a couple videos on the channel that you can check out. Okay, the next is to hire an accountant. Accountants are good for so many things, like helping you save money on taxes, avoid penalties or fines, and also help track your profits and losses. You really want to hire an accountant. They're going to help you for your specific situation to make sure that you're compliant in all the areas that you need to be. Okay, here are some Nebraska tax filing requirements. We won't go into too much detail here, but just note that you'll need to get a seller's permit if you're in the business of selling a good or product or a digital product or service. And then also you'll have to worry about employer taxes as well. This involves unemployment insurance tax as well as employee withholding tax. But yeah, we won't go into too much detail about this here now, but we will leave our favorite payroll softwares down below in the description. They're ADP and Gusto, so just go ahead and check those out if you need help with that. Okay, next is the tax filing requirements with the federal government. So you're going to need to report your annual income to the IRS. Now these forms will be different whether you're a multi-member LLC or a single member LLC. So just go ahead and search those necessary forms that we have here. It's the 1065 partnership return for multi-member LLCs, and it's the 1040 Schedule C for single member LLCs. And lastly, we just wanted to touch briefly on this BOI form that we talked about earlier. So this is a new requirement that started January 1st, 2024. Most entities are going to need to file this form, and it basically is just going to give information on the beneficial owners. So just note, if you're an entity created before January 1st, 2024, then you'll have till January 1st, 2025 to file this form. If you created your company in 2024, you'll have 90 days from the date that you started your company to file this form. And then if you have a company created on or after January 1st, 2025, you'll have 30 days to file that form. Like we said, we have a whole video on this that we will leave linked down below in the description. Go ahead and check that out if you have any further questions on this. Okay, I know we went really fast through a bunch of things here today. Go ahead and go back and pause the video if you need to look over anything further, and we'll make sure to leave all the resources that we talked about in the video today down below in the description. And if you do use our link for Northwest, just note that we get a small referral fee at no additional cost to you. Using those links that we have down in the description really help out the channel, and we want to thank you so much in advance. Also, just a disclaimer here, none of the information in this video is financial advice. You need to consult a professional to see what's right for your specific situation. But with that said, that's everything that we have for you today for how to start an LLC in the state of Nebraska. If you enjoyed this video and you want to see content like this in the future, please leave us a like and subscribe down below. This channel is dedicated to providing entrepreneurs and business owners like you with free content and tutorials like the one you saw today. So thank you so much for watching. We are rooting for you on your entrepreneurship journey, and we will see you in the next video.